Hello, everybody. Joe Bagadones here. Welcome back for another episode of Umineko. My God, don't know what happened to my mouth on that one. I'm a little sleepy. Not as sleepy as I was yesterday, which is why I didn't record and put out a little notice saying that I wasn't going to because really I got off work and I'm like, no shot, like 0% chance I'm gonna sit down for an hour and a half, 2 hours and record. So I just went to bed for like 12 hours and then woke up and went to work tonight and was expecting to be at work all night again tonight. But after being there for like 15 minutes, I said, weekend people go home. So I said, yahoo, and fucking got right out of there. Just fucking flew out the door before anyone could stop me and give me anything else to do. So it's been a little couple hours since then. Just been sitting at home relaxing. Figured, you know what? Video's supposed to go up at 7. I probably won't make it to 7 because it's almost 5 a.m. right now, depending on how long this video is and like the time it takes to export and then upload. It's probably going to be going up a couple hours late, so oops, sorry about that. But I made some tea. I got a new blend of tea in, so I've been mainly drinking green tea for the moment, mainly because I'm all out of coffee and I'm too lazy to go to Dunkin' Donuts and get more beans. So I just ordered a thing of orange Pico. Doesn't have any orange flavor in it. Turns out that's just a designation of like the quality of the tea leaves or whatever. I think. Does it say on the tin? I read it somewhere, but no, doesn't say. But yeah, pretty good. A little weak. I'm gonna definitely have to brew it a little longer than the 5 minutes that it recommended on the tin, because I like strong flavors. And I've noticed that even with my green tea and the black tea, it's like, it could use a little bit more oomph to it. It's probably because I don't add any cream or sugar to it. So what can you do? Or well, it's tea, so you add milk to it. Cream goes in coffee. Or does milk go in coffee too? I don't know. I drink it all black anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. But you don't care about that. You're only here for the Umineko, not for me. I know how it is. Anyway, moving on. What happened last time? Unlocked the blue text of things that must be answered before, the game can be called, and they have a minute to do it at the end. Fucking talk about lightning round. Jesus Christ. Also, I'm pretty sure it was last episode, the Kinzo is already dead theory was introduced, which, I mean, and we'll just have to read and find out if that holds any water. The door was forcefully flung open, and Rosa flew in with Maria. Oh god, that's loud in my ears. Thank you for fucking blowing my eardrums out, Rosa. It was already a full-blown typhoon outside and was starting to pour down hard. Though she had at least been using an umbrella, Maria had been in the rose garden amidst all that wind and rain the whole time. She had grown ice cold. Maria had gotten into a minor fight with Rosa in the rose garden and had been told to stay there forever. She had done as she was told and had continued to remain in that spot even after the rain started. Rosa certainly had gotten a little emotional and angry, but Maria's stubborn demands were probably more at fault. Doesn't mean that Rosa should have kicked her ass. The cousins, who had unfortunately been witness to that exchange, were relieved to see the mother and child close to each other again. Rosa toweled Maria's head dry. She seemed overcome with worry that Maria might catch a cold, but Maria herself was nonchalant. Yeah, kids are tougher than that. They're used to like fucking eating things off the ground and licking doorknobs. They got a strong immune system. I mean, but really though, when it's that windy and it's raining sideways, an umbrella doesn't really do that much.
ひょっとしたらずぶ濡れかもしれないと思ってたからね。傘を持ってたのは不 行中の幸いだったよ。
でもよマリア、いくら傘があってもこんな大雨になったらちゃんと雨宿りしなきゃダメだぜ。
Yeah, I can only do so much.
女の子は体を冷やしちゃ絶対にいけない。
いいのよ、
What
ジェ
about
シカ
playing
ちゃん。
outside in the snow? You're bound to get cold doing that.
ママがそこにずっといなさいと言ったのが悪いの。
Fucking damn right it was.
本当にごめんね。
マリアいい子。
Sure.
ママの言う通りにしてたからいい子。寒くてもずっといた。ママが来るまでずっといた。
Yeah, you did great. Just fucking knock off the creepy shit.
マリアは本当にいい子よ。ママの言いつけをちゃんと守ったわね。本当に偉いわ。でも次からはママの言いつけであっても、あんな大雨になったらちゃんと雨宿りをするのよ。
Yeah, you know, fucking use your noggin.
いいわね。ママと約束よ。
ママと約束。
Star. As Rosa gently held Maria, they joined their pinkies together and promised. Battler and the others could tell by this bonding between mother and child, expressed through a single little finger. The warmth was starting to return to Maria's body.
カノン君、タオルをありがとう。助かったわ。
それでは失礼いたします。
Oh yeah, hey Ken, it's been a while since we've seen you. You normally die. Ken bowed with a blank expression, as though he had done nothing that required gratitude, and left the parlor.
さあ、もうお夕飯よ。みんなも行きましょう。偉いマリアには後でママの分のデザートも分けてあげるわ。
Oh yeah, God, it really has been a while since we've seen, like, Cannon and the rest of the servants, considering they fucking bit it early on last time. And then the whole beginning of this episode was basically just all fucking Anjay stuff.
デザートもらえる。ママ大好き。ママ大好き。
こらマリア、
Ah, kids are
は
nice
しゃが
when
な
they're
い
so
の。
stupid. You know, it's easy to please them.
ママもマリアが大好きよ。マリア大好き。マリア大好き。
マリアもママ大好き。ママ大好き。
Rosa and Maria looked really happy together. Even the cousins, watching, started to feel a somehow familiar warmth filling up their chests.
このくらいの年頃が親と一番仲がいいのかもしれねえな。
Yeah.
うちはそうでもなかったぜ。母さんとかいっつも勉強勉強とうるさかったな。
子供を愛していればこそだよ。
Sure, just fucking say whatever you need to tell yourself that, no, it was fine.
親の愛は優しさや甘やかしだけじゃないんだ
Just
よ。
gaslight yourself.
僕の母さんも厳しかったけど、僕を大事に思ってくれたからこそだって今ならわかるよ。
So much so, she murdered the rest of your family over it.
ママ大好き。ママ大好き。
マリア大好き。マリア大好き。さあ食事に行きましょう。お手手つないで仲良くね。
Oh god, don't talk about food. You're gonna make me hungry.
お手手つないで仲良く。ママとマリア仲良し仲良し。
そうよ。ママとマリアは仲良しよ。いつまでもずーっとね。愛してるわ。マリア。
なんだよ突然。
Yeah, what?
どうした？
That was rather dramatic. The sudden sound had come from the teacup Gretel had been holding, which had fallen and smashed.
ごめんなさい。ぼんやりしてたわ。落としちゃってごめんなさい。
The teacup on the floor was broken into tiny pieces. Would it really have made such a sound and smashed into so many pieces just by being dropped from that height? Even someone as obtuse as Ballard could realize that she was in a bad mood over something. But he couldn't understand why she had suddenly grown so displeased. Yeah, she probably has a few choice feelings about Rosa after having read Maria's diary. When she made to bend over to pick up the pieces of the cup, Ronave appeared out of nowhere and stopped her.
お怪我をなさいますよ。お片付けは私どもにお任せを。
Give me fucking flashbacks to basic training whenever you like drop a plate or a cup in the dining hall, just everyone just yells, "Don't touch it!" all at the same time because there's broken glass everywhere, and then someone has to go get a fucking pan and clean it up.
紅茶のおかわりをお持ちしましょうか。
いらないわ。どうも悪魔の紅茶は口に合わないみたい。
ほう、ロノウェの紅茶でも口に合わぬものがおっ
How
た
about a
とは。
cookie?
そなたの肥えた舌には敬意を表するぞ。
退屈してきたんで、ちょっと席を外すわ。
退屈？おいおい、いよいよこれからだろうが。
Yeah, but they haven't started yet, so it's understandable to be a little,
多分
you know,
この時
spaced
点
out.
でマリアはまた傘と手紙をベアトリーチから受け取ってるって言い出すんだぜ。ここからが重要だってのに。
失礼するわ。ごめんなさいね。後片付けをお願い。
お任せを。
Without saying anything else, Gretel disappeared of her own accord. Her form literally melted and disappeared into thin air. There had definitely been a displeased expression on her face. But neither Battler nor Ronove, nor of course Beato either, could understand why her mood had so suddenly worsened. All that remained was the fragrance of the black tea she had spilled. You go into the in-between dimensions? I felt very unpleasant. No, to be even more blunt, it made my skin crawl.
お？なんでエンジェはイラついてるの？
なんでって、決まってるでしょ。
おう、マリアにはわからないよ。
Yeah, spell it out. Even Maria One-chan, with that blank expression on her face, irritated me. I held in my hand, palms up in the empty air, and out from nowhere, a single book landed upon them with a thump. It was Maria One-chan's diary. Even though there was no wind, the pages flipped and flipped without me turning them, and opened the door to Maria One-chan's world.
どうしてエンジェはマリアが幸せじゃないと思うの？
客観的に判断してよ。
客観的にエンジェの主観でだね。
真実は私にとってのものとマリアお姉ちゃんにとってのものとでは異なると言いたいの？
Correct.
真実は観測者によって形を変えるよ。そして未来の観測者が常にその形状を上書きする。エンジェはマリアの幸せをどうしたいの？
The pages of the diary were flipped through at greater and greater speeds. Then, a brilliant light poured out from the depths of the diary, swallowing everything up and painting over it all with white. Thank you for flashbanging me. I didn't need to see anyway to read. It's fine.
ごめんね、マリア。ママね、緊急に片付けなきゃならない仕事が山積みで、ちょっと会社に缶詰にならなきゃならないの。多分、あさっての深夜まで家に帰れないわ。
おお。じゃあ日曜日の一緒に映画を見に行く約束は？
映画？
Oops. Get pay-per-view. Judging by Rosa's tone, she had clearly forgotten the promise. But Maria's response to that was an apology for asking. I'm sorry. Maria apologized for troubling her mother by asking that question.
マリア、お留守番してる。ちゃんとお行儀よく待ってる。毎日お風呂に入って新しい肌着にするよ。お金の場所もわかってる。毎日違うお店に行くようにする。あんまり遅い時間に出かけないようにする。おまわりさんに聞かれたらママのお使いですって言うようにする。
Man, you got this down like clockwork,
ちゃんと
don't you?
ママに言われた通りに言うようにする。
そうね。ちゃんといい子にしてるのよ。そしたらお土産を買ってきてあげるわ。いい？夜は9時までに寝るのよ。ママが帰ってこないなんて先生にも大人にも言っちゃダメよ。
Don't need child protective services coming
いいわ
by.
ね。
うん、 からママ、お仕事頑張ってね。頑張ってお仕事終わらせて、少しでも早く帰ってきてね。マリア、もう夜中に泣いて近所の人に迷惑なんかかけたりしないから。だから早く帰ってきてね。
Also, how loud do you need to be crying that the neighbors can hear you? Like, you live in a standalone house, don't you?
じゃ、忙しいので切るわよ。いい子にして待ってるのよ。余計なことはしちゃダメよ。じゃあね。
Click. Using a tone that indicated she was wrapping up the call, Rosa hung up the phone without waiting for Maria's answer. Maria neatly set down the receiver and returned to the sofa. There sat the stuffed animal, Sakutaro, who had been watching TV with her until a second ago. Sakutaro was clutching the remote control to the TV. She had turned off the TV temporarily because of the phone call. He looked like he was asking her to turn the power on again because he wanted to quickly get back to watching TV.
サクタロウ、テレビ見たい？
ありゃ？マリアはもう見たくないの？芸人チーム全問正解したら逆転かもしれない。
もうテレビいいや。
What, just gonna go sulk somewhere? Again, Mama's busy with her work and isn't coming home. Mama usually has a lot of overtime and doesn't come home until late. She has to socialize or something for work, so she comes home having drunk a lot of alcohol, even though she can't handle it. And with a pale face, she goes straight into the shower and then to bed. And even on the weekends, she says she has overtime or has to stay over and almost never comes home. This has happened often recently, saying she has a big job lined up or something. The picture I did my best on during art class got laughed at by everyone, but I wanted Mama to look at it properly at least. But once again, I won't be able to show her. And talk about the time when everyone pushed the cleanup on me, but I did my best by myself and got praised by the teacher. And talked about when I went shopping, and the man at the shop said he's always impressed by me and gave me a free can of coffee. Don't give coffee to kids; they'll stunt their growth. And there's the card I wrote and secretly hid under Mama's pillow, because I wanted to encourage her when she comes home from working so
他
hard.
にもいっぱいお話ししたかった。
ママはお仕事をいっぱい頑張ってくれてるんだよ。毎日のご飯のために一生懸命働いてくれてるんだよ。
Mm-hmm.
お仕事。
Someone's got to pay the bills.
やだ。ママ、お仕事なんかやめちゃえ。
お仕事は大人の大切な仕事なんだよ。マリアにご飯を食べさせて、お洋服を買って、学校の給食費を払って、サマーキャンプの積立金を払って、それはみんなママが働いてお金を稼いでくれるからなんだよ。
ご飯いらない。
You kinda do.
お洋服もいらない。
You really should wear them.
給食もいらないし、サマーキャンプなんか行きたくない。どうせマリアをどこの班も混ぜてくれないもん。
ウリュウ、ママはさっき電話でお仕事から帰ってきたらお土産を買ってきてくれるって約束してくれたよ。
Well, unless she forgets to do that too.
ママはマリアのことが大事で寂しくさせてることを申し訳ないと思ってるから、そういう約束をしてくれたんだと思うよ。
そうかな。
ウリュウ、めんどくさかったり嫌だったりしたらそんなことはしないもん。ママだってマリアのそばにいつだっていたいんだよ。それができなくてママも辛くて悲しい。
Yeah, Rose is just not very good at things in general, like time management and work-life balance and being a parent.
ママが泣きながらずっとマリアの隣にいて夜を過ごしてくれた日を僕は覚えてるよ。
なんでママが泣いてるのかわからなかったけど、悲しむママが悲しくて、ただマリアは黙ってママのそばにいることしかできなかった。
あの時最後にママが言ったの 僕は覚えてるよ。マリアにありがとうって言った。ただそばにいてくれるだけで、マリアだけが世界でただ一人の味方なんだよってママは言ってくれた。ウリュウ、覚えてる？
うん。マリアが世界でただ一人の味方なんだよってママ言った。
Man, Rosa's life fucking sucks, doesn't it? Sakutaro set the remote on the table, crawling up onto the sofa, sat on my lap, and spoke to me while gazing into my
ママ
eyes.
もきっとマリアと同じなんだよ。ママの描いたデザインだけがクライアントに笑われて。
Absolute outcast, but the only reason she's getting anywhere is because she's fucking got a lot of money and can just brute force it
ママの会社だけが
to a point.
他の会社から面倒な仕事を押し付けられて。ママは社長だから自分一人で片付けなくちゃならなくて。ママの会社だけがいつも他の会社の仕事に混ぜてもらえない。ママの味方はマリアだけなんだよ。そのマリアがママにお仕事なんかやめちゃえなんて言ったら、
Maybe she should
ママの味方は世
hire
界中の
someone
ど
with
こにいるの？
actual design sense for her company.
サク太郎。
僕には世界中でただ一人マリアがいる。
And maybe like do a little bit of a rebranding. You know, maybe switch over to a different brand name.
ママには世界中でただ一人マリアがいる。マリアには
ママもいるし、サク太郎もいる。
だからマリアは寂しくなんかない。うりゅう。ママはお仕事が忙しいからなかなかマリアと一緒にいられないけど、マリアはどうかそれを責めないで。その代わり僕はいつも一緒に、そしていつまでも一緒にマリアのそばにいるから。うりゅう。
That's a long pause. It's your own fault there, Sakutaro.
僕が一緒じゃ悲しみを止められない？サクタロ。
Didn't you just say 5 minutes ago you wouldn't cry and bother the neighbors? From the holes in Maria's heart, that she had been doing her best to seal up, drops of sadness finally dripped down. Drip, drip, plop, plop. Sniff, sniff, drip, drip, plop, plop. Even though weekends where Mama doesn't come home aren't a rare thing, even though this night wasn't especially more painful or sad than any other, Maria's tears poured down.
ウリュウ、マリア泣かないで。僕がずっと一緒にいるから。マリアが泣いても僕は泣かない。僕はライオンの子だから寂しくても泣かないよ。僕だって泣きたいけど僕は泣かないんだもん。
どうしてサク太郎は泣かないの？こんなに寂しくて涙が
At least one of you needs to stay strong.
泣かないの？
ウリュウ、だって僕が泣いたら誰がマリアを慰めるの？だから僕は泣かないよ。だってマリアに元気を出してもらいたいから。
元気を出したらママは帰ってくるの？
ママが帰ってきた時元気なマリアで迎えてあげたらママはきっと喜ぶと思うな。ウリュウ。
ママは喜ぶ？
Sure.
ウリュウ。そしたらきっとお仕事の疲れもきっと癒されると思うよ。そしたらきっといつもより早く元気になってくれてマリアともいっぱい遊んでくれると思うな。マリアがママの待ってるお家へ帰ってきた時、ママが上機嫌で台所にいたらすごく幸せな気持ちになるでしょ？
Well, it's better than when she's in a bad mood and could fucking bop her with a frying
ママ
pan.
もきっと同じだよ。
マリアがご機嫌でお留守番してたらママも幸せになるかな？
ウリュウ。
Sakutaro nodded deeply with his big head. No more tears could fall from Maria's eyes. Because if she greeted her mama with a tear-stained face, her mama would probably get sad too.
マ マリアは知ってるよ。笑顔を呼ぶ魔法は自分も笑わなきゃできないってこと。
マリアは知ってるよ。だからもう泣かない。
ねえマリア、僕から楽しく過ごす提案があるよ。ウリュ
Gonna play
聞いて
Yahtzee?
くれる？
何？
ママが日曜日の深夜まで帰ってこないから、だからママに内緒のパジャマパーティーをして遊ぼうよ。
Sure.
パジャマパーティー？
今夜は眠くなるまで
Kinda need friends to
ベ
have
ッドの
those,
中で
though,
お
so,
菓子を食べたりジュースを飲んだりしながら僕と遊ぶの。
パジャマパーティ
Okay,
ー？
but don't drink the soda in the bed because you'll tip it too far and you'll fucking spill it on the sheets and they'll be sticky.
楽しそう。9時に寝なくていいの？寝ないとママに怒られない？
ママがいない時だけの
Yeah, well, she
僕
won't know
と
on
マリ
her.
アの秘密。だから今夜はマリアが眠くなるまでずっと僕たちで楽しく過ごそう。ジェリービーンズを食べながら次は何の色を引くか当てっこして遊ぼう。
Jelly beans aren't awful, but they're not my favorite.
ピーナッツを割ってどっちがおじいさんか当てて遊ぼう。
What the fuck does that mean? What Japanese thing is this? Grimoire. Elucidate me. Peanuts! When peanuts that have been removed from their shells are cracked in half, one half has a nub on the end with small leaves protruding from it. In Japan, young children are sometimes told that those halves with the nubs is the grandpa because the leaves look like a mustache. The other half, obviously, would be the grandma. Sure, man. Whatever you say.
クローゼットの中を宝探ししよう。他にも
Yeah, find the greatest treasure of all, a loaded gun. But this is Japan, so probably
オ
not.
レンジジュースとメロンジュースを合わせたら
This ain't Kinzo's
どんな
house.
味になるかな。
おー、いっぺんやってみたかったけどママにやっていいって聞いたらダメって怒られた。
ウリュー、ママに内緒で実験してみよう。今夜はいっぱい遊んでいっぱい笑って涙を元気で吹き飛ばしちゃおう。大丈夫、僕と一緒だから絶対に楽しいよ。僕が絶対にマリアを幸せにしてあげるから。
サクタロと一緒なら絶対に楽しいよ。
Yeah, you know, if you stay up late, that's when all the good anime starts airing.
絶対に幸せになれるよ。ありがとうサクタロ。もう泣かないね。とびきり楽しく2人で過ごして思いっきり元気になってママをおかえりなさいって迎えちゃ
ウリュー、今夜はいっぱい遊んでいっぱいご機嫌になっちゃおう。
You know, it's the 80s. Fucking, that's big fucking economic bubble. You know, that's when all the good anime and OVAs were made, when people just had fucking infinite money to throw at projects.
僕たちが賑やかにしてたらきっと鏡の国や不思議の国からたくさんの友達が遊びに来るよ。
They can stay over there. All those fucking Wonderland freaks are all weirdos.
そしたらもう
Best not to get
僕
involved
たち
with
は
them.
お友達でいっぱいで退屈なんかできなくなっちゃう。ウリュー、
And then I started my pajama party with Sakutaro and had fun till late into the night. I played by sticking my hand to a bag of jelly beans without looking and trying to guess which color I'd pull out. Sakutaro had good intuition and got it right a lot. Partway through, I also achieved the brilliant feat of guessing right 4 times in a row. The game where I split peanuts open and tried to guess which half would be the grandpa was easier than guessing the color of jelly beans, so I got it right a lot. Sucking my salt-covered fingers was bad manners, but that was the yummiest part. Ugh. Yeah, then you're gonna be, like, touching stuff? Like the remote? Ugh. I like both orange juice and melon soda on their own. I hope that by mixing those 2 favorite drinks, there might be a flash of light like alchemy, and a new drink that no one had ever tasted before would be created. I got excited about how, if it turned out really delicious, I'd call it Sakutaro soda and sell it. But, unexpectedly, it had a weird and disappointing taste, and the color was somewhat dull and boring. Maybe I shouldn't have been surprised that orange and green mixed together would make this. Huh, too bad. I guess that it would become a sparkling pineapple color. But it was an awesome, awesome fun night. If I'm having this much fun, maybe Mama will start wanting to come home too and unexpectedly appear at the front door. So I got the feeling that Mama might suddenly come home, and went to the front door many times to check, but there's no way Mama would be able to come home when she was this busy with work. But rather than feelings of loneliness, I felt just a little disappointed that I couldn't invite Mama to join in on such a fun late-night party. Next time, I'll do this when Mama is around and let her join in. Even some things that I don't think are yummy, Mama says are delicious. So she might say that Sakutaro soda is really yummy. When Mama comes back tired, I'll serve her some. Great. And more than anything, I wanted to at least write about this fun night in a letter and tell Mama about it. Hoping that these strong feelings of happiness would reach Mama too. Hoping that when Mama comes home exhausted from her job, which is always so tough for her, I could share this happiness with her. Hoping that when Mama comes home late Sunday night, almost certainly tired, I could make her even just a little brighter by sharing this happiness. I softly placed that letter on Mama's desk. To Mama. Good job with your hard work again today, Star. Some of my happiness for you to share. From Maria. Then, I decided to give a present to Sakutaro for proposing this wonderful night. Small red scarf that I had found when searching for treasure in my closet. When Maria was still very young, her mama had knitted this tiny, tiny red scarf for her. Maria was embroidered on it with knitting wool. She softly wrapped that scarf around Sakutaro. It really suited him, accenting his yellow with red very well.
Uryu, Niau?
Sakutaro looked embarrassed as he wore his first present ever. Yeah, it really suits him. Yeah, it's a good look. Just, I don't know about putting like a metal pin on like a kid's scarf, because kids like to whip things around and fucking getting like hit by that would sting like a motherfucker.
サクタロ、いつも本当にありがとう。こんなにも楽しい夜になったよ。どうしてマリアは泣いてたのか、もう思い出せないくらい。
Like, you ever get fucking whipped by like the zipper on a jacket or like a zip-up hoodie? Like when someone's fucking swinging them around when you're a kid? You're like, fuck, dude.
これからも一緒にいようね。そしていつも楽しく遊んで笑っていようね。
うりゅう、マリア大好き。
マリアもだよ。サクタロ大好き。
After playing so wildly, my room was a mess. Maybe I played a little too much. But I'm tired for today, so let's sleep together now. And tomorrow, we'll clean up together and welcome Mama with a clean room. Okay, Sakutaro? Yoo-doo!
ね、マリアは、マリアとサクタロはこんなにも幸せだよ。
これがマリアお姉ちゃんの幸せなの？
Yep, make do with what you got.
マリアは幸せ。
ローザおばさんはあんなにも楽しみにして絶対だよと約束した映画の約束を完全に忘れてた。
お仕事で忙しかったからたまたま忘れちゃったんだよ。
It happens.
仮に覚えてたとしてもお仕事じゃどうしようもない。覚えてても覚えてなくてもどちらにせよママはお仕事でお泊まり。映画には行けなかった。約束を覚えてたかどうかなんて些細な問題だよ。
There's no way that's insignificant. After all, when Aunt Rosa replied, "the movies," on the phone, it was obvious that she had completely forgotten her promise. And when she heard that, Mario-ne-chan's mood definitely darkened.
確かにマリアお姉ちゃんの言う通り、ローザおばさんが約束を覚えていたとしても結局映画には行けなかった。でも それでもお母さんとのささやかな休日を過ごす約束を一方的に忘れられていたなんて悲しい。私なら怒る。
Well, yeah, that's you.
悲しかったよ。たとえ覚えててくれたとしても映画には行けなかったわけだから。でも私はその後サクタロととても楽しく夜を過ごした。
You know, life in lemons and lemonade and all that.
エンジェもパジャマパーティーがすっごく楽しそうだって思ったはず。
楽しいわけなんかない。だってこの夜のマリアお姉ちゃんのはしゃぎぶりはお母さんが帰ってこなくて寂しくて、それを忘れるためにわざと空騒ぎをしただけじゃない。
I mean, that's just how you think of it.
違うよ。サクタロと本当に楽しくパーティーをしたんだよ。
いいえ違う。お姉ちゃんは悲しくて約束を忘れてたお母さんが憎くて部屋で暴れただけじゃない。
そんなことマリアの日記のどこに書いてあったの？
書いてはいない。でもこの一行飛ばしで書いてある行間からお姉ちゃんの気持ちがわかるの。
You're hyper-analyzing. You're doing like the fucking English assignment thing where it's like, oh, the color of the blue curtains emphasizes in this section that the character is feeling yada yada yada. And it's like, nah, man, sometimes the curtains are just blue.
お姉ちゃんはこの夜を楽しくなんか過ごさなかった。
Sometimes there's no deeper meaning to it.
それで言いつけを破って夜更かしをし、おやつの時間以外には食べてはいけないと厳しく言われていたルールを破ってお菓子を食べ、それでも悲しみが埋められなくて部屋の中で暴れて散らかしただけじゃない。
Damn, Ajay, just fucking wait a couple years and you can like start writing video essays on Evangelion and like Madoka Magica Online.
そして部屋中を散らかして疲れ切って、そのままベッドのシーツをかきむしりながら泣き疲れて眠っただけ。
日記には確かにママが映画の約束を忘れてたらしいこと、そして私が夜更かしをしてサクタロとパジャマパーティーをして宝探しで部屋を散らかしてしまったと書かれてるね。
ええ、それはつまり、そういうことじゃない。マリアお姉ちゃんはローザおばさんの愛に飢えていた。そしてローザおばさんは自分の仕事や世間体ばかりを優先していつもお姉ちゃんを後回しにしていた。だから虫唾が走るのよ。ローザおばさんのお姉ちゃんのことを愛しているという言葉がどれほど上辺だけのものか知っているから。
I mean, I've already said how I feel
お
about
姉ちゃんだって知ってるはず。なのになんで自分は幸せだなんて言えるの？マリアお姉ちゃんのそのあたりが私にはわからない。この年になってもさっぱり理解できない。どうして悲しくないの？どうして不幸な現実を知りながら自分は幸せだなんて言えるの？私にはできない。わからない。
エンジェは悲しい子だね。
Yeah, your life kinda sucks.
わけわかんない。どうして私が哀れまれなければならないの？
私の日記にはこんなにも楽しくパジャマパーティーの事実が記されているのに、同じ事実も異なる人間が観測すると異なる姿になってしまうんだね。
I remember talking about this with Bernkastel. Truth is indeterminate and changes its form every time it's observed. By the way it's perceived, in other words, depending on the person who perceives it, single truth becomes different truths. And truths of the past are painted over by truths of the future.
マリアはこの日記でこの夜の出来事をとても楽しかったと記した。
マリアお姉ちゃんはこの夜の出来事をとても幸せだったと記述した。
Well, yeah, they might have had a sucky origin, but hey, you know.
なのに日記を読んだエンジェはこの夜の出来事をとても悲しかったと読んだ。
マリアお姉ちゃんは幸せだと記述したのに、私はそうではないと読み解いた。
やめて。これは幸せな夜を記したものなの。
Yeah, you're thinking too hard.
これがこの夜の真実。お願いだからその幸せな真実を新しい、そして異なった真実で塗りつぶさないで。
マリアお姉ちゃんにはこれで幸せなの？
Yeah, sometimes it's fine to just take things at face value.
幸せだから同じ境遇の時 幸せに感じられない園児がかわいそう。
Both she back then and I now have the same friendless and lonely situation. And Anjay accepted the lonely truth as the lonely truth. But she painted over the lonely truth with a happy truth. Rosa and Maria took the sad truth and changed it into happiness. That is the only, and yet all too large, difference between me and Maria One-chan. I just couldn't read there for like a solid 30 seconds. Like my ability to process words just was gone. And at the same time as being unable to accept it, another part of me is jealous of that power.
そうなの。それは力なの。その力があるマリアは幸せになれて、その力がない園児は幸せになれない。
その力は何なの？
マリアもその力を何と呼ぶかわからなかった。この時点ではね。やがてその正体を教えてもらうの。後に話すよ。後のページで。そして日曜日の深夜、ママは約束通り
Yeah, we'll get to a magic lesson with Beatrice eventually.
ただいま。ママ、おか
えり。ブリュー、ママ帰ってきた。ママ帰ってきた。
Waiting to greet Rosa as she returned home all tired out was Maria, holding Sakutaro in an unbelievably good mood. Rosa's worn-out expression was surely due to, at least in part, to actual fatigue, but also particularly because she was sick and tired of having Maria cling to her and loudly whine and sob after being left alone in the house for a few days. However, once she was welcomed by an unbelievably happy Maria, and discovered unbelievably that her fears had been unfounded, Rosa couldn't hide her surprise.
どうしたのマリア。とてもご機嫌ね。誰か来ているの？
It was strange enough to make Rosa think that a friend might have come over, and that she had come back home in the middle of them having a good time playing together. But then she remembered her daughter has no friends. But there were no other shoes by the entrance. Even though Maria was in such high spirits, she was home alone. At first, Rosa was suspicious that this unexpectedly good mood might have some kind of unwelcome underlying cause. But that really was a needless fear, and it really did seem to be that Maria had actually stayed at home in a good mood. Even if Rosa's heart had been as cold and as hard as a rock, after being welcomed with a smile like this, Rosa started to honestly accept that smile, and the smile rose to her own face automatically. In that smile, you could see none of the weariness caused by being unable to return home for several days. Maria kept talking about it, what a fun time she had playing with the stuffed animal Sakutaro. Rosa really hadn't imagined that the stuffed animal she'd gifted her would be liked so much, and she couldn't hide her pleasant surprise.
そう。サク太郎と一緒に仲良くお留守番していたのね。偉いわマリア。そんな偉いマリアとサク太郎にお土産があるわよ。
ブリュー。お土産。
You bring a Nintendo?
なんだろうね。
Maria started jumping around with Sakutaro. There were two presents. One was a Western cake assortment. It contained different kinds of Scotch cakes. Ooh, we getting fucked up? It looked to be of very high quality. But Maria was more interested in the other one. The other one was in an even bigger box, and it was pretty heavy.
開けてごらん。マリアとサク太郎の新しいお友達になれるかもね。
Inside, laid there like chess pieces, were about 20 small ceramic animal figures. Squirrels, rabbits, small birds, dogs, and cats. They were all holding musical instruments. In addition to them, there was also a panorama-style background. A forest scene was drawn on it. Little woodland animals were all gathered around a forest clearing, and they looked like they were having a good time. Rosa set it up on the table, And when she lined up the ceramic figures like chess pieces in front of it, it became a band of forest animals.
素敵でしょ。お店のショーウィンドウで見て一目惚れしちゃったの。これをいい子でお留守番してたマリアにプレゼントするわ。
Yeah, just don't drop them.
ありがとうママ。すごいねサクタロ。お友達がこんなに増えちゃったね。サクタロの言う通りだった。楽しく賑やかに過ごしてたらお友達が増えちゃうって本当だったね。言った通りでしょ。
Yeah, win-win, you know. It all came out on the wash.
ほらね、お友達が増えた。ほらね、お友達が増えた。うりゅー。
All come up Millhouse. Relieved that her gift had been appreciated, Rosa suddenly remembered that she was filled with several days of weariness.
ママ、本当にお疲れ様。シャワー浴びてくるといいよ。
Yeah, you stink.
あったかいの浴びるときっと
Smell
疲
like
れ
booze
が
and
取れるよ。
cigarettes.
湯船にする？マリアが今日は入浴剤を選んであげるね。
ありがとう。でももう遅いからマリアは寝る支度をなさい。ママも疲れたからシャワーだけ浴びてすぐ寝るわ。明日も早いし。
God, cigarettes just smell so awful. I fucking hate them.
わかった。はいママ、コート脱がしてあ
Like,
げ
give me an awful headache.
大丈夫だってば。ありがとう。
ママのコート、お外の匂いがいっぱいする。あ、ごめん。何か落とした。拾うね。
When she had taken Rosa's coat, a receipt or ticket stub or something had fallen out. It had been in her mom's pocket, so it was probably important. Maria hurriedly picked it up. It looked like a ticket for a green car or a Shinkansen or something. Atami? Maybe it's that place famous for its hot springs. Just then, a razor-sharp sound shattered the warm atmosphere. Instead of the Rosa who had been there just a second ago, enjoying a gift from her daughter and full of weariness after returning home for the first time in several days, there stood a completely different person, looked exactly the same, but had the most terrible of expressions on her face. In her hands were the ticket stub that Maria had picked up. She had stolen it from Maria's hand in an instant. After a few seconds' delay, by the pain of her hand that had been hit and her mother's expression, Maria realized that she must have done something wrong. But she didn't know what she had done and had gotten her in trouble. It's probably because of that ticket stub-like thing. Was she supposed to not touch it? Even though she had tried so hard to welcome her mama with fun and happiness, she had touched something important to her without asking and had ruined that pleasant atmosphere. So Maria apologized immediately.
ごめんなさい。
Just a little defensive over maybe some evidence of like a little tryst. Gone somewhere maybe besides work. Even though she must have heard those words of apology, Rosa's expression actually darkened. Maybe those words had been undesired? Maria didn't know what to do, and cautiously watched to see how her mother would act. Then, even though it should have been such an important ticket stub, Rosa crushed it up and hurried off to her room. Maria didn't really understand what she had done wrong. Nothing, your mom's just being a psycho.
マリア、きっと余計なことをしたんだね。あの紙はきっとママのお仕事の大切なものだったんだね。それに勝手に触っちゃったから。
ウリュウ、マリアは悪くないよ。
Nope.
だから今夜だってこんなにも幸せ。
Yeah, just pretend that last, like, 45 seconds to a minute didn't happen.
幸せ。
ママだってお風呂に入ってすっきりしたらいつもの優しいママに戻ってくれるよ。だから気にしちゃダメ。ウリュウ。
そうだね。ママだって疲れてるんだもんね。気にしちゃダメだね。今夜だってマリアたちはこんなにも幸せ。ウリュウ。
もうやめてよ。見てられない。
Yeah, that one's a little more than, the previous night.
エンジェは 幸せの見つけ方が間違ってると思うよ。
間違ってるのはお姉ちゃんでしょ。これのどこが幸せだってのよ。もう痛々しくて見てられない。
何が？ママが急に怒り出したこと？
Yeah, that's normal.
人間疲れていればそういうこともあるものだよ。一時の感情のすれ違いだけで相手を全否定するのってエンジは大人じゃないと思うよ。
9歳のマリアお姉ちゃんに言われるとはね。
Yeah, that should really put it in perspective, huh?
でもそんなことじゃないでしょ。問題、お姉ちゃんが拾ったあの半券、明らかにおかしいじゃない。
何が？何もおかしくないし、
Yeah, take it stubs,
今
take
夜
it
の
stub.
幸せと何も関係ないよ。
ローザおばさんは仕事で会社に泊まり込むって電話してきたんでしょ。なんで熱海？それって旅行でしょ。マリアお姉ちゃんを置き去りにして旅行に行ってたってことでしょ。しかも普通旅行って言ったら一人では。
Yep.
あれが仮に熱海行きの件だったとしても、だからってママが嘘をついて旅行に行った証拠にはならないよ。
Yeah, maybe she went there for work.
電話で嘘をついて、あ
Just
んな
a
にも
little
形相
coinky
変え
dink.
て奪い取って、何よりの証拠じゃない。
昔の仕事で出張した時のものかもしれないよ。
Yeah, like how often you know how it is. You fucking throw on a coat you haven't worn in a while, and you got like old things in the pocket,
あるいは
and you found
ゴ
like a
ミか
$20
何かを
bill.
たまたまポケットに入れちゃっただけかも。部下の人が出張した時の領収書かもしれないね。だったら仕事の大切なもの、
Yeah, I gotta file your proper business expenses.
おもちゃじゃないんだから、ママが取り上げたのもうなずけるよ。エンジェの言う証拠なんて単なる状況証
Like, I
拠。
need to keep all my receipts when I travel for work, so that way I can fill out my DTS voucher and get all my money back,
想像と妄
and then
想。
more.
どうしてマリアとママの仲が悪くなるように解釈するのかわからないよ。
どうしてお姉ちゃんがそこまでローザおばさんの都合がいいように解釈できるかの方がわからない。
やっぱりエンジェはかわいそうな子。君を幸せにしてくれるかけらはこんなにもたくさん身の回りに落ちているのに、それを見つけられない。
Mm-hmm.
なのに不幸せなかけらばかり見つけてしまって傷つき続けている。だからエンジェは傷つくことに怯え、傷つけるものが身の回りにないかどうか、それを確かめ終わるまで幸せ探しすら始められない。
お姉ちゃんと話をしてるとおかしいのがどっちかわからなくなってくるわ。
あのね、幸せのかけらも不幸せのかけらもどちらもいっぱいあって世界を満たしてるの。
Sometimes you gotta take the good with the bad.
だから身近の幸せが見つけられない人はどこまで探しに行っても見つけられない。チルチルとミチルが青い鳥を探したみたいに。
Oops.
そうね、そういう教訓の話だった。
エンジェはその正反
Sure,
対。
I'm unfamiliar with it, but I'll take your word on it.
不幸せなかけらが全くない世界を探してる。でもそれだって青い鳥と同じなんだよ。だから永遠にエンジェは自分の幸せを見つけられない。バトラはヘンゼルなの？青い鳥なんじゃないの？
もういい加減にして。いずれにせよ幸せな夜がコートから落ちた一枚の紙切れで台無しになったことはよくわかったわ。
怖いね。一枚の紙切れで。なら幸せを取り戻す力も一枚の紙切れに
Easy
宿れ
come,
るかも
easy
しれ
go.
ないよね。
Just when she had finally been able to bond with Maria after so long, Rosa's face twisted with a mixture of anger, sadness, and a fierce self-hatred as she flew into her room and closed the door. Maria's sorry had struck her in the chest more sharply than any knife. Then, she noticed a cute envelope placed on her study table. It was probably something that had come with a girl's magazine. To Mama. Some of my happiness for you to share, it said. She took it, hesitated, opened it, and read what was inside. Then, after dotting the surface of the paper with 2 large tears, she flew out of the room, hugged Maria from behind as she headed for the bathroom, buried her face into her daughter's back, and cried. And, realizing that she was the one who should truly be saying sorry, she apologized to her. And when Maria asked why, she gave no answer.
ほら、もう仲直り。あんなの、ママとマリアの仲良しの前には、全然気にすることないんだよ。
Yeah, Rosa just had to realize she was being a bitch.
私にはマリアお姉ちゃんの幸せは辛すぎる。
エンジェの気持ちも一応は理解するよ。マリアだってこの力に気づくまでは今のエンジェと同じで不幸なかけらしか見つけられない気の毒な子だったから。
Yeah, looking at your life, Maria, it's kind of like licking a lemon. It just kind of makes your face scrunch up a little bit.
その力って何？私になくてお姉ちゃんにはある。そしてそれがないから私は不幸でお姉ちゃんは幸福だというの？力という抽象的な表現でしか理解できないそれは一体どんな力なの？
うん。エンジェはそれが知りたいんだよね。
I just need to be able to kind of like let go.
だから私の物語をここまで読み進めてきたんだもんね。もちろんだよ。教えてあげる。この力の秘密を。そして私は昔、幼いエンジェにちゃんと教えてあげたんだよ。忘れちゃってる？大丈夫。
Yeah, probably.
思い
She
出せる
seems
よ。
kind of dumb.
今から私が、彼女が。
Like, Anja might be book smart, but she's, you know, not the highest emotional intelligence, let's say.
教えてあげる。
彼女？って誰？
わらわが。
Hey, Beato.
マリ。
ベアトリー
As
チェ。
I cut her off.
マリアにはあって、そなたにはない力。
Yeah, this is Diary Beatrice, though, so, you know, we can at least not quite trust her, but, you know, we're able to lower our guard a little bit more.
マリアにあって、エンジェにない力。
That is magic. Maria and Beato said it together. And then they started giggling because they'd said it at the same time. Haha, Jinx, you owe me a soda. It was an innocent behavior, which seemed somehow unlike Beato. Well, yeah, this is when she's being her little magic teacher instead of the fucking psycho murderous bitch witch. Black tea was arranged on a table in a peaceful garden, and Beato, Maria, and Sakutaro were sitting on Maria's lap, were having fun chatting.
ほう、そうか。サク太郎と申すか。そなたの一番の友人とな。
ウリュウ、はじめまして、サク太郎と申します。
おう、サク太郎は人見知りするから緊張してるの。大丈夫だよ。ベアトリーチェもマリアの素敵なお友達なんだよ。
ウリュウ、マリアの友達は僕も友達？
Yeah, that means you're mutuals. You'll get recommended to each other on
ウ
Facebook.
リュウ、じゃあ僕もベアトリーチェの友達？ウリュウ！
マリアにとっては、このようなことは日常においてよくあることなのか。
Well, like talking stuffed animals?
何が？
このように無機物に魔法の魂を込め、生を宿らせることは、
Just like making a little
そ
familiar
なたの
thing?
日常においては左半時なのか。
おお、サク太郎は無機物じゃないよ。ライオンの子だよ。
Of course, of course.
うりゅ
ぬいぐるみはよりしろとして優秀だ。ゆえに毒を持たぬ無垢な子供が話しかけることによってそれに応えようとする精霊が宿ることは少なくない。
According to Beatrice, when a child plays with dolls, the dolls sometimes gain an actual will and converse with them, in rare cases, even moving on their own. However, the power that they can imbue into such a vessel is very weak due to their innocence. If even a tiny bit of the toxin from a human's common sense gets involved and tells them that there's no way a doll can talk or move, it instantly reverts to being an ordinary non-speaking doll.
しかし、そなたのそのサク太郎というぬいぐるみは違う。
サク太郎はぬいぐるみだけどぬいぐるみじゃない。ウリュウ、ライオンの子。ウリュウ。サク太郎はライオンの子だけどまだ子供だから時々ガオーって言えないの。
I'll get there one day.
ウリウリウリュウ。ウリウリウリュウ。
Beatrice let out a sigh of admiration as she gazed at Maria, playing around with Sakutaro at the table loaded with tea.
なんというこ
Just
と
don't
か。
get any tea on them. Tea stains are hard to get out.
サク太郎とやらはその布地と綿のよりしろを書くに完全に人間界に顕現している。自らの人格を持ち召喚者と自在に対話をし、しかも自らの意志で動いている。しかもさらに驚くべきは、それが異界の人物を名指しして呼び寄せたものではなく、マリアがゼロの海から生み出したものという点だ。
After that, Maria boasted to Beato that Sakutaro wasn't her only friend, and that when she went home, there would be plenty more of them. She claimed that there were other similar stuffed animals and dolls who, like Sakutaro, could talk and move of their own will. It was something natural to Maria. It was natural for stuffed animals to talk, move, and become her friends of their own free will. When she heard Maria speak of it in this way, Beatrice, as a witch, felt a little respect bordering on awe.
マリア、そなたのその力は紛れもなく魔法である。
魔法なの？マリアはまだ魔女見習いだから魔法なんて使えないよ。
Oh, you just found the thing you're good at.
いいや、魔法だ。それを自覚して使えぬから未だ見習いなのであろうが、それにしても大した魔力。そなたの友人サク太郎の権限こそがその立派な証であるぞ。
権限って？
Yes.
うん。そなたの場合は
Close enough.
想像と呼んでも良いであろうな。他人の手にあっては何の魂も持たぬ無機物がそなたの魔法によって魂を吹き込まれている。しかもそれを強力な力で人間界に留めている。これほどまでに魔法を否定する毒気に満たされた現代において、一個の生命体足り得るほどに権限できる魔力はわらわとて容易なことではないわ。
It isn't hard to create soulless beings in any number. However, creating a being with a soul is very difficult. Beato declared this definitely.
ベアトが言うのがよくわかんない。サク太郎がすごいってこと？
Yeah, sure.
サク太郎と
If you want to boil it down.
共に素晴らしいということだ。誇ってよい。なるほど。金蔵の最も欲したものはそなたに一番濃く宿っているらしい。
なんでベアトにそんなに褒められるのかさっぱり。ねえサク太郎、ウリュー。
真に驚嘆すべきはぬいぐるみに魂を宿したことだけではないのだ。
But
それにより自己の世界観まで変化させた。そなたは
you've just
無より
gaslit
有を
yourself
生じ
so
る力が
hard.
群を抜いている。1を100にすることはたやすい。しかし
I was going to say
ゼロから
something else
1を
there, but I
生じる
couldn't
こ
think
と
of
はたやすく
what
は
to
ない。
say. So, you know.
そなたが一人前の魔女になったなら、わらわと双璧どころか、わらわとて一目置かざるを得ない大魔女に成長するであろう。原初の魔女か。そなたの将来がわらわにとっても楽しみだ。
If she can ever get there.
ベアトに魔女の才能あるって褒められた。よかったねマリア。ウリュウ、ベア
マリアを褒めてくれてありがとう。
Yeah, not many people say nice things to her.
礼には及ばぬぞ、サク太郎。その赤いマフラーは実に似合っているぞ。そして
Yeah,
そな
scarves
た
are
のよう
cool.
な友人を生み出せるそなたの主人の才能に嫉妬する。
マフラー褒めてくれてありがとう。これ
Like, really, all you
マリ
need
ア
to
にプレゼン
do
トして
to,
もらっ
like,
たの。
increase the power of, like, any winter, like, outfit is just, like, get a scarf.
僕のお気に入り。
まさにそなた専用のマフラーになるために
Just, like,
生まれ
navy
てきた
blue
よ
or
うなサ
black
イ
or
ズであ
gray,
るな。
something that can go with anything.
これはわらわも新しき友人に何かプレゼントを贈らねばなるまい。
ベアトがサク太郎にプレゼントを。
魔女の贈り物は魔力あるものと決まっておる。ならばそなたの友人がいつまでもそなたの友人でいられるよう、サク太郎にわらわの魔力を贈ろう。
Cool.
それによりさらに強く権限することができるだろう。
サク太郎ともっともっと楽しく遊べるよう
And
にな
how
るの。
is this gonna manifest?
どうやって？おりゅ？なんだろうマリア。それって怖いこと？
I don't know, maybe it's coming from Beatrice after all.
大丈夫だよ。ベアトは怖いことなんて何もしないよ。
Okay.
ね、ベアトリーチェ。
必ず気に入ってもらえるはずだ。さて、より強く権限するにはより強いイメージが必要であるな。
Don't fuck with them too hard.
さてさて、どうしたものか。
Beato folded her arms and thought about what she could do to please them the most. Hello, Virgilia. And at that moment, there appeared the form of yet another witch. It was Beato's master, Virgilia. Virgilia truly was a great witch. Since Maria already thought of Beato as a great witch, this person Beato called a great witch must have been a great witch. According to Beato, not even she could hold a candle to this witch when it came to magical power.
おやおや、賑やかな声が聞こえてくると思ったら楽しそうなお茶会ですこと。おお、お師匠様、ちょうどいいところへ。このライオンの子を見てほしい。
Still bitter about that, Virgilia. That wasn't cool of you.
マリアの新しい友人だそうだ。
The betrayal.
可愛らしいライオンさんですね。ご挨拶はできるのかしら。はじめまして。こんにちは。
Like nothing fucking gets my goat, and like lights a fire in my gut of like righteous indignation, like fucking being tricked and betrayed.
ウリュウ。サク太郎と申します。
Sakutaro got back down onto Maria's lap and greeted Virgilia with half of his face poking out over the edge of the table. He seemed to be very nervous, since this was a witch that even Beato called master.
可愛らしい名前だこと。上手な挨拶ができたご褒美にお菓子をあげましょうね。
After waving her hands about, Virgilia held a palm of her hand upwards and made a movement as though lightly grasping some of the air. Butterflies, my favorite treat. Then she held out that closed fist in front of Sakutaro. And when she opened it, there lay one of those individually wrapped cough drops.
ウリュウ。
Man, you are old.
飴だよマリア。すごいすごい。よかったね。
It's what kids love, Ricolas.
ちゃんとお礼を言ってね。ウリュウ。飴をどうもありがとうございます。ペコリ。
Even though Virgilia was a great witch, she still treated a stuffed animal like Sakutaro to an elegant greeting.
しかしお師匠様、のど飴とはまたババ臭い。
Hey, got anything else fucking bouncing around on the bottom of your purse?
せめていちごミルクのキャンディーとか出ないのかよ。これはひどい。
Like just one of those like normal wrapped strawberry candies that only ever in like fucking old people's candy dish.
もうあなたには飴をあげません
They
よ。
are good though.
悪い悪い。さて、マリア、そなたの魔導書を出すのよ。もちろん筆記用具もね。
出すよ。
Yeah, get out your notebook and some colored
何か
pencils.
書くの？
おや、何を始めるのですか？お師匠様に習った魔法を使うのだ。よりしろに異界の住人を権限させる魔法。あれの応用でこのマリアの友人を権限させる力をより強めることができるのではないかと思ってな。それをマリアとマリアの友人への贈り物としたい。なるほど。常に権限している存在ならそう難しいことではないでしょう。それは素敵な贈り物になりそうですね。では私もささやかですが
Yeah,
協
but then
力
again,
し
it
ま
is
しょう。
Beatrice doing it, so who knows how well it'll turn out.
お師匠様が立ち会い人にサインしてくれる魔法なら心強い。喜べマリア。これは素晴らしい贈り物になるぞ。
うりゅ？何が始まるの？怖くない？怖くない？
わかんない。でも怖くないと思う。
Yeah, you're getting some like magical
なん
enhancements.
だろうね。楽しみだね。
Beato borrowed the grimoire from Maria's handbag and majestically rifled through the pages. Then, finding an empty page among those with magic circles drawn on them, she flattened the book out. And after staring at Sakutaro with a smirk, she suddenly started darting her pen across the page. It was something like a written proclamation made by witches to a higher order world. Magic, which would take effect by Beatrice writing it, and Virgilia giving her signature as a witness. Maria didn't understand what Beato was doing at first, but partway through, she figured out that the wonderful magic power of this document, and her eyes began to sparkle.
うりゅ？うりゅ？どうしたのマリア？何を書いているの？
She's drawn that like cool S shape that people do in middle school.
うりゅ？うりゅ？
Sakutaro was on her lap, so he didn't know what was being written up on the table. But even if he had seen it, Sakutaro probably wouldn't have understood.
すごいよ、サクタロウ。待ってて、もうすぐだよ、もうすぐだよ。ベアトすごい、ベアトすごい。
力ある書面の筆記においてこの子の才能は素晴らしい。あなたになら魔界の書記官すら務まりそうですよ。
You really want
これでどう？
Beatrice handling your paperwork there? Really?
まずまずであろう。
After she had completed the thing she had so intensely concentrated on, Beato looked over the document again from a distance. It seemed she was fairly satisfied with her work. And Maria, upon also peeking in at it, let out a cry of wonder.
すごいよ、ベアト。かわいい。
黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェの名においてマリアの子サク太郎をここに認める。
All caps, the witch, Maria.
お師匠様、立ち会い人にサインを頼むぜ。はいはい。我が名においてこの先生に立ち会い認めるものなりできましたよ。
Virgilia signed, completing the proclamation. It was a powerful document that proclaimed to the beings of a higher world that Sakutaro had most certainly manifested in the human world. Sakutaro, created by Maria, had received the recommendation of the two witches Beatrice and Virgilia. And, in this very moment, the higher world had accepted his existence. That was the great magic of manifestation. According to Beato, it was apparently an incredible stroke of luck that Virgilia had been there. Because the power residing in the proclamation would change drastically depending on the number and rank of the witches signing it. Virgilia in particular had many friends in the higher world, So her signature gave the proclamation of a power with which Beato couldn't even compare.
この宣言書により汝作太郎を自我ある一個人と認める。そしてその存在をマリアージュ・ソルシエールの条約に従い、
Oh god, don't
友
be
人
putting
として
fucking
迎
accents
え
on letters.
今より作太郎は我ら共通の友人だ。それにふさわしき姿を贈り物としてそなたに贈ろう。受け取るがよい。
With the grimoire still open to the page with the proclamation, she turned it around and handed it to Maria. Maria showed it to Sakutaro on her lap. When Sakutaro beheld the proclamation, in his body made of cloth and cotton, he felt something hot and bright begin to dwell. Even as he looked around, nervous at the sensation that he had never felt before, that power strengthened. And eventually, a bright light completely swallowed him up.
うりゅうりゅうりゅうりゅうりゅう
Hello? I did not foresee this. And when that light disappeared, there, Maria's friend Sakutaro held a new form and existed. Hello. Sakutaro, beloved furniture of Lady Maria, witch of marriage, sorcier, whatever. His existence in Lady Maria's pure white heart itself is Lady Maria's pure white heart itself. Words, they're hard to say. He is an irreplaceable being to her, and could even be said to be another Lady Maria. He holds a decoration as a diplomat, and all witches, weapons, and furniture in the Alliance, even demons and divine spirits in contract with the Alliance, are not permitted to take aim at him. Ooh, useful as a shield. Excellent.
かわいいよサクタロすっごいかわいいよ。うりゅううりゅう本当に似合ってる？
I don't know about the big sleeves. Maybe you'll grow into them.
恥ずかしくない？
とても可愛らしい姿ですよ、作太郎ちゃん。マフラーがチャームポイントだと思ってな。あとは耳だ。獣耳はいいぞ。実に可愛い。後でわらわにもかじらせよ。
Hey, back off.
ありがとうベアトリーチェ。素敵なプレゼントを本当にありがとう。
礼には及ばぬ。そなたの素晴らしき魔法と友人に敬意を表したまでよ。そしてこの域にまで達したそなたはもはや見習いをいつ卒業してもおかしくない。今日よりさらに新しく楽しい魔法を伝授してやろう。
Oh boy, how fun.
これより原初の魔女見習いのマリアと名乗るがよい。
原初の魔女って？
うん。
You're good at making things.
造物種の道を求める魔女の称号よ。今は身の回りの小物に魔力を吹き込む力しか持たぬエンチャンターでしかない。しかし1000年の修行を経たならば、その胸の内より魔法体系はおろか、銀河を生み出すことも夢ではあるまい。
原初の魔女の才能はとても希少。
Yeah, thinking of things is hard.
幼き日には誰もが持つのに誰も持ち続けることができない。この称号はあなたが汚れなき心を失わなかったことの証でもありますね。
原初の魔女すごいなる。マリア原初の魔女見習い。
マリアすごいねすごいね。原初の魔女すごいすごい。うりゅう。
The coolest.
やがては一人前の原初の魔女マリア教を名乗ることになろう。作太郎だけでなく、そろそろそなたもその格にふさわしい身なりをしても良い頃であろうな。それ見習いとはいえ 魔女の名を語るにふさわしき
Costume
服
change?
装を与えよ
Henshin? When Beato waved the pipe that was her wand, many gold butterflies appeared out of nowhere, grouped around Maria, and granted her a wonderful dress. I don't like that staff. Bad things happened last time with that staff. Endowed with both cuteness and majesty, it was indeed a fitting article of clothing for a girl who would eventually take the name of the Witch of Origins. Even more characters. Maria! In all caps. The Witch of Origins, who will live for the next 1,000 years, possesses the motherly magical power to give birth to one from the Sea of Zero. At a glance, her magical power is weak. However, Zero will never become anything but Zero, no matter how much it is multiplied. Can we not talk about Zero? You're giving me, like, flashbacks to Hollow Atarax. I'm gonna cry. But the one she gave birth to will eventually surpass the heavens. Protected heavily by Beatrice, who understands her true value, she is in an alliance with Beatrice.
すごいすごいすごいすごいすごいかわいいかわいいこのお洋服ママにも見せたいダメ
No.
魔女の清掃はみだりに見せてはならぬぞ。もったいぶった方が価値が出るというもの。
And then, the Great Witch, the Witch's apprentice, and her new friend Sakutaro had a lively time enjoying their tea together.
ね、私はこんなにも幸せだよ。そしてこんなにも楽しい。幸せになることをどうか恐れないで。幸せになるというのは今の不幸を受け入れるという意味じゃないの。今の不幸の中に幸せを新しく生み出すということなの。
It ain't a zero-sum game.
それが原初の魔法。
私は今の自分の世界を認めたくなかった。こんなにも孤独で辛い世界を肯定するのが許せなかった。だからマリアお姉ちゃんの世界に惹かれながらも最後の一戦で受け入れられなかった。
教えてあげる。マリアの原初の魔法を。いいえ、教えたことがあったはず。そしてあなたにも使え
Yeah,
た
but
はずなんだ
Anje's
よ。
stupid, so she probably forgot.
忘れちゃった？エンジェだってマリアージュ・ソルシエールに名を連ねる魔女の見習いだったでしょ。
ええ。
Oh, is that the name of your little grimoire?
そうだったわね。マリアージュ・ソルシエール。懐かしいわね。私もそこに名を連ねていることがあったっけ。
An apprentice of an apprentice isn't much, but, it's on the food chain. And 12 years later, with my eyes seared out.
ええ、あれは忘れもしない。
But I probably will, because, that's where this episode is ending, and I have a bad memory, so by the time next time we get around to the next episode of Umineko, I will have forgotten whatever this guy is saying he will never forget. So, with that, once again, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell. See you all next time for the next episode of Umineko. I might actually be able to get this uploaded on time for 7 a.m. Eastern. It's currently 6:20, and it takes about 15 minutes to export my video from Adobe Premiere, and then it's all in YouTube's court whether it actually gets it up on time. But we'll have to find out if it did. Comment down below if it actually went up on time. Anyway, catch you guys later. Bye. Mwah.